So yesterday we talked a little bit about writing equations of parabolas. And the day before we kind of talked about writing equations, but mostly just finding information, right? Different characteristics of parabolas. But I had you get out both of these foldables to look at because today I'm going to give you some information and you have to decide where to get, where to start, okay? So today a problem that we start with looks like this. It passes through the point 8, 3 and has a vertex of 4, -1. Is this foldable with our focus and directrix something that we might use? No, it doesn't tell us anything about a focus or a directrix, does it? It just says we know where the vertex is and we know it passes through the point 8, 3, right? So any idea you think we should use that foldable? Yes? Okay. Which one of these equations do you think might be most useful today for this problem? Vertex form, right? Because we know a vertex. Okay? Looking at the vertex form, where is the vertex? Remember we could open it up and see how to find the vertex? Where's the vertex form? Where's the vertex in vertex form? HK, right? Oh, look, HK. Except if we're going to use this form, what else do we have to know? I'm going to go ahead and write that formula down so we have it in front of us. Okay. Well, I know an H and a K. What else do I need to know in order to be able to write the equation? I got to know A, don't I? It doesn't tell me anything about A. But what it does tell me is a point. Don't you think I might be able to use X and Y to figure out A? Well, I'd have to use X and Y and H and K to be able to figure out A, don't I? Okay. Now, some people might look at this and say, uh-oh, there's not a Y. But you guys know better, don't you? Because Y is the same as what? F of X, yeah? If you don't like that, we can actually rewrite it like this so you're okay about it. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in what we know. Are you okay with that? Well, what's Y? 3. So 3 equals A. A is, remember, what we're trying to figure out. What's X? 8 minus H, and H is 4 squared plus K. Uh-oh, K is -1, so it's -1, right? And that's not an uh-oh, is it? Do I have enough information now to solve for A? Yeah, it's literally the only variable left. That's all I can solve for, isn't it? That was my goal, wasn't it? So what's 8 minus 4? 4. What's 4 squared? So I simplified this already to 3 equals 16a minus 1. Okay, now what I don't want to do is say 16 minus 1 is 15 and that's 15a, right? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, do order of operations, how you know you're supposed to. What's left to do to solve for a in this problem? Add 1, very good. So 4 equals 16a. And the last step I need to do to solve for a? Divide by 16. So what does a actually equal? Mm-hmm. 1/4, right? 1 over 4. Now, it's all fine and good that we have a, but is that what I was asked for? No, what I was asked for was the equation, right? So now I have to go back to the beginning, like right here, and put in what I know, except I don't want to put in everything I know. If I'm writing an equation, don't I need to leave the x and y alone? Okay, so when I write my equation, I start with y equals a, which I just found was 1/4. I'm leaving the x alone, but I know the h, don't I? So x minus 4 squared, and then I know the k, don't I? This right here is the equation. Okay? Now, you guys are benefiting from a previous class already working on this homework, and they said to me, when you give the notes to the rest of the day, make sure you tell them this. okay? Because they started with the first problem and they got very frustrated. And they were putting in y equals 1/4 x minus 4 squared minus 1. And I looked at my answer key, and the answer was y equals 1/4 times x minus 4 squared minus 1. And it was counting it wrong. You know why? Because on the computer, this is what it says. This is where you put your answer, but look at what is already there. So don't put y equals, just put that. Does that make sense? Do you see how they were frustrated? Right? I was frustrated for them because I'm like, come on, we've been working on this. Not at them, but at the computer, right? We were working on the whole equation when in fact all they had to enter was that part. Does that make sense? Because the y equals was already part of the answer. Okay? So caution, be careful about that. Fair enough? Let's do another one. This time I'm going to tell you that it passes through 6, 35, and has a vertex of -1, 14. Passes through the point 6, 35, and it has a vertex at -1, 14. Are we still using this foldable? Well, hopefully you realize it's almost exactly the same as the previous question, just different numbers in the point and the vertex. So hopefully you'll realize this is like another example of the same type of question, yes? So let's start with y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Okay? So if I ask you, like, what are the steps to do this problem? What do you think the first step is? Yeah, our first goal is to find a. So we want to find a by plugging in. Yeah, I'm going to use substitute if that's okay with you guys. Substitute x, y, h, and k, right? You okay with that? I just know some of you like steps to follow, so I'm trying to think of a way to write this so that you have steps to follow. Is that fair? Okay. Do I know x, y, h, and k? What's what? Y is 35, so this is x, 6 is x, and the vertex is what? H and k, right? Okay, so let's substitute in what we know. Y is 35. A? Oh, that's what I'm looking for, right? And what's x? 6 minus h? Ooh, 6 plus 1, right? 6 minus a -1 would be 6 plus 1 squared, and then plus k. So plus 14. Everybody good so far? What is 6 plus 1? 7 squared. So 40, 39, 35, look, I'm trying to write too early. 35 equals 49a plus 14. So this is a what, 7th grade math problem, right? You got the, you're already writing on the steps. I can see you. Good job. Do it. Do it. I'm going to catch up to you. Okay, so 21 equals 49a, and dividing both sides by 49, a is 3/7. Is that what you got? Awesome. Is that my answer? Oh, it's not my answer? Okay, how do I get my answer? So step 2 is write the equation. But this time I'm only substituting what? H, K, and A, right? H, K, and A. I'm not substituting X and Y in this time, right? So Y equals A, which I figured out was 3/7, X minus H, so X plus 1 squared, and then plus 14. That is my equation. Does that make sense? Pretty straightforward, right? It looks confusing in the beginning, but once you get all the numbers in, That's a pretty easy thing to do, isn't it? Okay. So what about this problem? Passes through 1, -2. Whoa, there you go. Passes through 1, -2. And has x-intercepts of -1 and 2. Ooh, this is a little different, yes? We still going to use vertex form? Oh, that wouldn't really make any sense, right? Because I don't even know a vertex, do I? But what do I know? I know some intercepts. Do you think we might use intercept form? Okay. So in intercept form, I need a y, an a, an x, a p, and a q. Do I have any of that? Well, I have an x and a y, don't I? What else do I have? Absolutely. So are our steps going to be similar this time to the last two kinds of problems? Our first step is to find a. We still have to find a, don't I? In this form, I still need an a, don't I? So my first step is to find a. How am I going to find a? Excellent. Substitute x, y, p, and q. That's almost exactly the same as last time, right? It was x and y and h and k because that's what I know. This time I know p and q, so that's what I'm going to substitute in. Got it? All right. Y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. All right, what goes where? Y is -2. Very good. A is what I don't know. X is 1, so 1 minus p. Ooh. And then again 1 minus 2. Does anyone know 1 plus 1? That took entirely too long. It made my heart stop a little bit. Just teasing, just teasing. 1 plus 1 is 2, right? What's 1 minus 2? -1. So what I have is a times 2 times -1. What is 2 times -1? So what I have is -2 equals -2a. You okay with that? Well, to solve for a, all I need to do is divide by -2, right? So what does a equal? Excellent. Now that I have found a, what am I going to do? Write my equation. But I'm only going to substitute. Very good. Excellent. So I start out with y equals a, which is 1. Do I have to write 1? Can I if I want? Yes, absolutely. And then x minus p, so x plus 1, times x minus q, so x minus 2. Now, here's, in my opinion, the best part about writing an intercept form. I'm done. Could I distribute this out? Yes, but would it be an intercept form anymore? No, and I'm focusing on intercept form right now, so I am done. I want to leave it just like that. You okay with that? Can we please do one more example of those? Okay. Passes through -2 and 0.05. Whoops. Has an x-intercept. Does your brain ever do that? Like your brain is working fast and your hand's trying to keep up? Yikes. Of -7 and -3. Y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. Oh, I didn't even ask you what form we should use. Sorry, I just wrote it down. You were already writing it down? Okay, that's good. So what do I know? Do I know everything I need? What's this? XY. And what's this? Okay. Now I had a really good question earlier. Okay. I wrote P and Q, and somebody said, could this one be Q and this one be P? What do you think about that? Yeah, absolutely, right? This one could be P and this one could be Q, or this one could be Q and this one could be P. That doesn't matter. Okay. All right, so let's start by substituting in X, Y, P, and Q. Okay. So Y is 0.05. A is what I don't know. X is -2. And P is -7. So I have +7, don't I? And then I have -2 again, minus, oh, minus -3, so +3, right? All right, -2 plus 7, 5. And -2 plus 3, 1. So what is 5 times 1? So I have 0.05 equals 5a. To solve for a, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So a is 0.01. Now that I have solved for a, now I need to write my equation where I only substitute P, Q, and A. So y equals a, which is 0.01, x minus P, so x plus 7, times x minus Q, which is x plus 3. Again, I don't need to multiply that out. I can enter it just like that because that is intercept form. Does that make sense? Questions? Any questions? No questions at all. All right, mark it, set, go.